Where do we want to go next? Lost Bloom, I think, right? Because we still have to pick up some quests, right? Grab this one real quick. Boy, they really don't make it easy, do they?
Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia.
I don't know why that made me chuckle, but just the way that this is the first time I was just really thinking about it. The way he's like, "Fly, Ambrosia," is just so funny, so posh. I feel like naming your pet chicken Ambrosia is like just a little bit silly in and of itself. I missed it. I missed the bridge. It's over here. And those are people by a tent, I think. Interesting.
Damn it. The whole village has turned.
Sure have.
Back to the stables, girl.
Time to cull the serfs.
All yours, Torgal.
Oop.
It's over.
There we go. And I cannot tell how anyone plays this game with the default control scheme as well. It feels like having attacks on the triggers is just the way it's meant to be done because you have to hold the attacks in order to charge. So it's like, you have face buttons. How am I supposed to hit magic at the same time as charging my heavy attack or whatever, you know? It just makes it harder. I mean, and I'm playing on hard mode too, like, or at least as high as the difficulty will let me put it at the start. Just run away from those guys, because I don't want to deal with them. There we go. That's this way I want to go to. No! I can't call Ambrosia because of battle. There we go. This is what we want. Scoot away from me, please. There we go. Oh, that was a treasure chest, not an enemy. There you go. Turn over here. Alright, that was the slow movement option. I wonder what speedruns for this game look like. That's a thought. Are they just over here?
Nice try. Bogle, kill!
Oh. Oh no. I thought I was on Titan. So I thought I was on Phoenix, so I accidentally used Earthen, or whatever it's called, the first wind up, yeah. There we go. 2 goblin coins, wow. We're gonna be so rich.
That's all of them. Owen can uncross his toes now.
Alright. Oh, wine. I thought his name was Owen. Alright, East Pool time. Let's go talk to Wade. And I think this is the last of the side quests. Once we get this done, we'll just all be delivering.
Ah, Lord Rosfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed. Only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another.
I mean,
Not that
aren't they...
myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and Guardians alike.
I'm just a little bit confused.
Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all, I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lacked men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians.
All right, my lord. I will appeal to them. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared.
I don't.
And to think we trusted you.
Unfathomable.
Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool! Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Yeah.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rosfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall. that Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. I will not let this village fall.
So the reason why that whole set of cutscenes bothered me was because Wade comes to us and is like, I thought we would teach them how to farm because they don't know how to take care of themselves. But we've been shown so far that bearers generally, their entire thing is taking care of other people and themselves. Like, and I don't mean that in a like the community came together sense. I mean, literally most bearers are employed as servants. Most bearers probably know how to cook. Most bearers know how to do manual labor. Literally, we saw bearers tending fields already in this game. So sure, maybe we'll say that the bearers here didn't have that experience, but the question then becomes, what the hell were they doing then? Because they are the surf caste. And I don't mean that in a good way, I just mean that in a, that's what bearers have been shown to do, so how would they not know how to sow fields? Which is fine, you know, that's fine. We can say maybe they don't know how to sow wheat. Most of these bearers are not used to agriculturally homesteading or doing community planning, like that makes sense. But then to have them be like, it's not the right word to use here, but to portray what are effectively the homeless, oppressed minority caste in this game as like ungrateful for being brought out of captivity. Like, yes, I understand what they're trying to show as like the conditions are so bad that they can't trust people, and it's trying to set up this idea that like a lot of the bearers don't want to fight because they're scared of the uprising and of like the consequences. But these bearers have already escaped and have already seen the things that we've done for them. And also, all bearers have wanted this whole time is like to be free and have a home. So to have them be like, we can't trust you, you'd have us, you know, you're just gonna betray us, you just want to use us as bait, is like bad optics. But then on top of that, to have Martha come in and be like, you ungrateful bearers, we gave you a home and you'd rather just be on the street? No, you better fight for what you believe in, like what we're doing for you. Is just like, in a like for that drama, for that nuance to work, you need to have the context around it make sense, and it just didn't in this case at all. That was just so poorly communicated.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rosfield, change of plan.
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No, let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
Yeah, I don't know, that's a little sus. That's all I gotta say about that. That storytelling choice. This whole side quest is just a little weak. This is fun. Make for Rhiannon's ride. Okay, there's no easy teleport to get there, so we gotta hoof it, I guess.
Next one's mine. I might not know what.
Again, this I think all contributes just to the sort of hoorah shonen anime kind of stuff I was complaining about earlier when I was talking about the game, where it's just like, I don't know. It feels like a lot of the more nuanced storytelling from the beginning is slowly fading away to just be like, the power of friendship will save you. Rebel, because rebellion in and of itself is a quality. Not any of the reasons why we would want to rebel. Right. Just the fact that you do it is important. And it's like, okay, like, it's storytelling that tries to be symbolic and thematic, but it doesn't actually have anything to say other than like, yes, oppression is bad, but like it doesn't want to interrogate any of the reasons why or like any of the nuanced, you know, complex character relationships that actually develop as a result of these things. It's just a little weak, that's all. And it's a bummer because I'm really enjoying this game, but like, would have been cool to just have a little bit more depth there. I do think that this game has, its end game storytelling is significantly weaker, but maybe that's just a COVID impacting production thing. I don't know.
To me, boy.
Why is my limit gauge burning so quickly? There we go. Well, at least it went by quickly.
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rosfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
We did it. We
You
saved
did.
Eastpool. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now, so we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool.
And we shall. We all shall. Together. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away,
they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't gonna rebuild itself.
They're not slaves anymore.
no. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too, and I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's Eastpudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course, and I'd be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right, I will.
Lord Rosfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
All right. Let's go back to Martha. Just get this sorted out. Then we can return to the hideaway. Why is Clive still on fire? I get into a glitched game state where I'm just always charging now.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did, eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool and all.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get rewarded for it. Take it before I change my mind.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I guess Clive is just on fire. It's kind of funny. All right, let's zoom out really quickly and just see. Do we have anything else going on here?
Come back.
All right, let's talk to Blackthorn.
Ah, the man himself. We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you. It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his leatherwork for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is then.
Well Bugger me. We actually did it.
Wait, we just get this? We don't need to craft it? Are you kidding me?
To end all swords.
Oh my god.
Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
Ancient Ashen legend purports that one day the Age of Dominance will draw to a close in an epic clash of Eikons that sets the land ablaze, cleansing it of the foulness and allowing for its rebirth, a clash they call Ragnarok. Wow, it's almost as if we're the thing. Gotterdamerung recipe unlocked. Let's see if we can just craft that immediately.
Trouble with your gear, or... I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You've been a good friend to me, Clive. The best. So, will it be?
We can make Ice Brand. Might be worth doing. Alright, okay, so we can upgrade the Gotterdamerung. If Ragnarok was forged to mark the War of the Gods, then Gotterdamerung, meaning Twilight of the Gods, was forged to mark the fall of those self-same deities. Okay, so we need Orichalcum, Dark Steel, and a primitive battle horn. Is there a value in...
No scratches, right?
Sure. There's no point, because we can't upgrade those other ones. So we definitely want to work towards crafting the Gotterdamerung, but
That it?
so at least we don't need to at least we don't just get that one for free, and it's still better than everything else we have. This is dumb. All right.
Fine.
That's fine.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
Deliver the echoes to Owen. Let's go do that.
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts?
Canva lost.
Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for a lesson? How was she? The Enterprise, I mean.
Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
That's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit 'em to the smelter right away!
May I present to you the Telemon Furnace? Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon Furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal.
Huh.
Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
Alrighty. Expanded potion satchel. Okay, so we can get more potions. That's good. Because we desperately need that. And we've maximized our inventory completely, it seems. So this was the last upgrade for this. Oh, that was so worth it. 5 high potions, 8 regular potions. Oh, let's go fill those up. Let's go fill those up. Because holy smokes. And I think we also need to check the Patron's Whisper. Or whatever it's called. Yep, because we unlock some new renown stuff. Do that.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts.
Faith Undying Ring of the Swift Shot.
Here you are.
Have to look into
Come
what
again.
that does.
I may have more for you.
Alright, so we'll head over here, go to Charon's Toll, and buy us some more potions, because we are always running out, and it is going to be nice to have more.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of pep, Clive.
The way she says that, it's like she's gonna ground me.
You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Nice.
don't. I'm not much bothered either way.